Hi everyone, I have recently started working with a tiny, super affordable microcontroller board called the ESP32 C3 Super Mini, which comes with both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Part of the ESP32 Super Mini series, this little board has quickly become a go-to for makers and developers since it squeezes the full power of ESP32 into a thumb-sized package. If you are subscribed to my channel, you would have probably seen me using it in my last 3 projects. It is single-core, compact, lightweight, and can be programmed using Arduino IDE. While these boards are great, I noticed they occasionally drop off the network. When that happens, the only fix is to physically go and reboot them to bring them back online. After getting frustrated with this, I started looking into ways to solve this problem. In this video, I will go over 3 methods that has actually worked for me to fix this problem. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay specializes in manufacturing of very high quality, low volume colored PCBs at a very budgetary price. In addition to standard PCBs, you can also order advanced PCBs, aluminum PCBs, rigid flex PCBs. They also provide PCB assembly and other related services which can meet your need to the greatest extent. Apparently, the ESP32 Super Mini disconnecting from the network is a known issue, usually caused by a combination of hardware design flaw and software settings. While a permanent fix can be tricky to find, there are several effective workarounds you can try. Reducing the radio power is the #1 most recommended fix. The voltage regulator often cannot handle the default 19.5 dBm peak power, causing disconnection. Running Bluetooth and Wi-Fi simultaneously can also overload the single-core chip. Manually set the TX power to 8.5 dBm or 10 dBm in your code. Try older or different firmware build, or disable Bluetooth if you are not using it. When the device connects to the network but disconnects under load when sending data, the TX power fix is highly likely to solve your problem. The PCB antenna is sensitive. Plugging a pin header into GPIO20 or GPIO21 or having stray wires near the antenna can detune it, killing the Wi-Fi connectivity. It can also be due to poor quality control during production, leading to outright faulty modules. Keep all wires and metal objects away from the antenna. If possible, inspect the antenna solder joint for a poor connection. The ceramic antenna sits very close to the crystal. Its feed pad is on the left, while the opposite end is left unconnected. Many hobbyists simply scrap off the ceramic component and solder a 31mm looped copper wire directly to the pad, creating a standard quarter-wave whip antenna that immediately resolves the range issue. The ESP32 C3 draws high current peaks up to 500 milliamps when transmitting over Wi-Fi. A weak USB cable, a poor quality regulator on the board, or an unstable power source can't keep up, causing resets, crashes, or brownouts. I recommend using a high quality USB cable and a powered USB hub. Adding a 10 microfarad to 100 microfarad low ESR capacitor between the 5V and ground pins near the board can stabilize the power. If none of these steps work, you may have a faulty board. Unfortunately, quality control on these very cheap modules is inconsistent, and sometimes the only reliable solution is to purchase a replacement from a different vendor. The USB and boot modes can sometimes be a bit finicky. A common trick is to remove the board from a breadboard while flashing it, as the metal contact on the breadboard can interfere with the signal. Metal objects, hands, or metal enclosure directly over the antenna kills the range and stability. Also, please make sure that the Wi-Fi channel you are using is not too much congested. Drop a comment and subscribe for more DIY tech reviews and projects like this. Thanks again for watching this video. I hope it helps you. If you want to support me, you can subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos. Thanks. See you again in my next video. Bye now.